What's going on YouTube? Cloverbells here, back with another Series 11 team fixing video, and this time we're looking at a Dialga team. So this was specifically requested by not one, but two viewers who have also requested that I shout them out. That is going to be from DopeYonko and Soapy. So from what I understand, they made this team together and they asked me to review it. So that's what I'm doing. So here we go. And again, if you are interested in team fixing, that is a tier 2 perk of the channel. So make sure to join the channel, and if you want your team to be critiqued or fixed by me that you have already built, that is a tier 2 perk. Tier 3 is when you and I build the team from scratch. You say, hey, I want to build a Solgaleo team, and then we will build a Solgaleo team from scratch as an example. All right, that is team building, but this is team fixing. So let's take a look here. So we got Dialga here. All right, I know a little bit of Dialga, right, because the Dialga Blastoise team was one of the big ones we used back in the beginning of Series 11, and I see some good options here. So let's see, what do we got? All right, so already I can see we have the Dialga and the Grimmsnarl. All right, so that's already a plus in my opinion, right? The fact that we already have those two. Then we have the Landorus here. Okay, so already we're off to a great start. We've got Dialga, we've got Grimmsnarl, and we've got Landorus. Okay, all right, I understand the Rillaboom here. Looks like it's an Assault Vest Rillaboom with Grassy Glide, Fake Out, Knockoff, and Drum Beating. Okay, and that's a good EV spread for a Rillaboom. I don't have any complaints there. We've got a Zard here. Okay, so looks like they were aiming for a Dialga Sun team. Okay, there's no Gmax on the Zard. I'm gonna say that was a mistake, and they just forgot to put it on Showdown. But we know how Showdown can be when it comes to Pokepaste, so I'll let that slide. There is a Latias here. Okay, so this is the weird one of the bunch. So it looks like there's Helping Hand, Icy Wind, Draco Meteor, Ally Switch. Huh. Okay. Latias is a good mon for support. I just don't think this is the right series for it. I think Series 10 was better for it, or even BDSP VGC is good with Latias here, but in terms of Series 11, I don't, and especially with another dragon on the team like Dialga, I don't think it fits. I understand there's an Icy Wind, speed control, there's Helping Hand and stuff. First of all, we already know how I feel about Ally Switch, so that already just means goodbye. But yeah, I understand a lot of these options. Okay, so is that attack investment in Latias? Why? Okay, oh, and also the Rillaboom. Wait a minute, the Rillaboom has 4 special attack investment. Why? Why not just put this in defense? I'm gonna say that was a mistake, and that was meant to be defense on Pokemon Showdown, I hope, for the viewers' sake. But hey, we got Dialga, we've got Grimmsnarl, we've got Landorus, and we have Zard here. Okay, so I see the vision. I see the vision that DopeYonko had along with Soapy. The only thing is the vision now needs some contact lenses or a little bit of glasses to make it a little bit more clearer. Okay, so you want Dialga Sun, but where is the sun? Where is the sun? That's my first question. And then the next question is, if we're gonna go with a sun kind of team, where there is a Landorus, there is a Charizard, then I think these two have to go. I think the Latias and the Rillaboom, they gotta go. We're gonna get a Sun option, and then we're gonna go with Sun's #1 favorite grass type. You already know what it is. So let's just go ahead and go straight into Showdown. Let's revamp the Sun team, and then we'll adjust the EV spreads, the items, and the movesets. Okay, so now we're gonna take a look on Showdown and just look and from a larger perspective on what DopeYonko and Soapy was going for here. And again, we're going to modify this so that way we have some sun, and we're going to use a better grass option here. But let's look at this Dialga spread here. So it looks like Earth Power, Thunderbolt, Flash Cannon, and Aura Sphere. And I noticed there's 4 leftover EVs. I don't know why they left it like that. And we're Quiet Nature, but all but we have all the IVs in the speed. Okay. Huh. Alright, well, the Aura Sphere, I don't know why it's there. I think maybe they wanted it for Incineroar or something. That takes super effective from fighting, but when you Dynamax it, it's max Knuckle, right? It's just gonna boost your attack. It's not gonna boost your special attack here. I mean, that can kind of help Landorus, but other than that, I don't see a need for it. I think this can go. I think we can just put Draco Meteor in this slot and get a Dragon Stab here. And although I'm the one that also used Thunderbolt for Kyogre, the fact that we have a Grass type on the team, you know, we don't really need Thunderbolt anymore. I think we can opt for Ice Beam. The reason being, Landorus just rips through this team to shreds, and without an Ice coverage, I wouldn't even play the match. So Ice Beam's definitely got to be on this. And as far as these EVs, we'll do that in the next part of the video, but there's 4 EVs missing here. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to reset everything back to nothing. And I think it's best we go modest. Okay, I think that's good. We don't need quiet. I don't know why we were quiet. If there was Trick Room, I could understand, but there's no Trick Room here. But yeah, the Latias, again, you know it could be good if you had something like, instead of this move, what if you had like something like this with Bulldoze, and then you put the weakness policy on this? Okay, then I can understand the Latias, right? Because then what you could do, you could Bulldoze next to Landorus to get, because you know it's a flying type. You could Bulldoze next to Zard because Zard is also a flying type, and then Bulldoze next to Dialga because you're pressure anyway, and you have a weakness policy. So I can understand that, but we're getting rid of the Latias anyway, so we're not going to do that. And for our Dialga here, of course, because we have a Landorus, we're going to go Telepathy here. Alright, so that's gone. And the Rillaboom, that's gone too. And wait, actually, hold on. I saw something here. Wait a minute. Hold up. Oh, yeah, so wait a minute. We were adamant, but we still put it, yeah, so like this should have been over here, if anything. Yeah, anyway, so let's remove that. And then the Zard, okay, the Zard is not bad. The only thing with the Zard I'm going to suggest here is we have Scorching Sands, just because against opposing fire types we need something else to click. I don't think Fire Blast is that great in VGC. I think at least go for something like Heat Wave or even Blast Burn if they wanted more damage output. I think that's good. But I think Heat Wave is a little bit more consistent because at least you can use this outside of Dynamax, right? Hurricane, again, I'm going to go with Air Slash here. I think that's a little bit better. So we got our Flying Stab, our Fire Stab, Scorching Sands, and Protect. Okay, I'm going to suggest another kind of set here, and we're going to take away the Life Orb. Okay, but this is the 4 that we're going to use. I think we're going to change this Landorus a little bit. There's nothing wrong with this Landorus set, but I don't think it's the one that we want on this kind of team. Okay, so I think we're going to switch things up a little bit, and we need something against an opposing Sun team because we don't want to get slept, right? So I think Lumberry is going to be the item here. Oops. Yeah, so let's just remove this. Okay, so we'll stick with this 4. And what we're going to do is, well, again, we'll remake the EVs. So we'll put this back all the way to 0. All right, and I think we're still going to go Jolly here. Wait, hold on a second. Did I see that right? We had 204 investment in speed. Wait, we had all this investment. Oh, they left out 3 EVs. Wait, we had all this investment in speed, but we put 0 IVs in it? Why? Oh, something's weird going on here. DopeYonko and Soapy, I got some questions, but that's okay. That's okay. We're going to make this a really good team. All right, we're going to reset. And now what we're going to do is, instead of Rillaboom, we're going to use Venusaur. Okay, and then we're going to use Chlorophyll here. And now, first of all, I want to move this up here. Excuse me. And then Grimmsnarl here. Zard, we're gonna make this G-Max, of course. And put that there. Venusaur here. This is just me being like, you know, alignment thing. And we need the sun here, right? So now we have Torkoal. Okay, this is good. Drought. So now we have a Dialga Sun team, right? Because with this 6, all right, we have Grimmsnarl screen support. Okay, we're gonna change this. But yeah, we have Grimmsnarl screen support. Then we have the Thunder Wave. That's fine. I prefer Scary Face, but if you like Thunder Wave, that's personal preference. That's good. The Zard is good. We're gonna do a different kind of Zard set here. The Venusaur is gonna be our main fast mode with the Torkoal here, and then Landorus is gonna be good against opposing Sun teams, and it's gonna help us a little bit more against stuff like Zacian as well, and even something like an Urshifu, because Urshifu doesn't care for screens. But yeah, anyway, yeah, I like this already. You know, this 6 is gonna be good, and trust me, you're not gonna miss the Dialga. I'm sorry, you're not gonna miss the Latias or the Rillaboom. You're gonna be better off with the Venusaur and Torkoal providing Sun for Zard and for Venusaur. And again, the weather matchup is good against Kyogre too, because the previous version we had nothing for Kyogre other than the Rillaboom, and we need more than just a Rillaboom against good Kyogre teams, right? So I think this is the 6 we're gonna roll with. So now let's just readjust the EVs, the items, and the movesets. Okay, so now we're gonna adjust the EVs, items, and the moves. So what I'm gonna do first is just reveal all of my GIFs at the bottom. So here we go, Landorus and then Torkoal. Okay, so that's the 6 that we're gonna roll with. So let's see what we're gonna try here. So with Dialga first, I think with Dialga, what we want to try and do is we're modest, right? Yeah, so let's just honestly just get it to the 3rd EV bump. So let's see where that is. 96, 98. Okay, so from 196 to 198, this is the first bump. Again, if you have questions about what an EV bump is, ask me in the video. All right, I always get at least one person asking me what is an EV bump, so I always explain it every time. But if you still don't know, ask me what an EV bump is in the video. All right, the second one plus 80 is going to be at 156, right? So yeah, right here, 209, and then another 80 EVs invested. It's going to be at 236. That should be the next bump. Yeah, you see, you go from 218, you skip 219, you go to 220. I think that's good. So, all right, instead of weakness policy, I think what we want, you had the adamant orb originally. Yeah, we'll keep the adamant orb. All right, we'll keep the adamant orb. And then from here, I think what we're gonna do is just optimize our HP for the hail chip and the weather chip overall. So 191 is a good number. Just an even number in the defense, and then also in the special defense. Just so that when we go for max quakes and max steel spikes, we get a nice even number there. Earth power, HP flash. Yeah, so here we go. And then finally the 124 speed. So this brings it to 126. And then if you do your math, if you take out your calculator, 126 times 1.5, that gives you 189. That's faster than Thunderous, right? If I recall. But yeah, anyway. Now for the Grimmsnarl. Okay, so the moveset is fine. I just didn't like that everything went into Spadef. So, oh, we're sassy. Oh, that's interesting. Let's go with the normal spread here. Let's go with the what was it? I like the Spadef boost, that's for sure. Yeah, careful. That's what we wanted. All right, let's go with the normal one here. So 121, and then let's go 84. You know, just so that after 2 airstreams, we're faster than base 100s, and then the rest we can go in defense. All right, and then let's just drop this a little bit. 198. Let's go to that 103 prime number. There it is. So I like this Grimmsnarl set. EV spread a lot. So this is pretty good. All right, the Zard. Okay, so the Zard, I know we like Life Orb on it, but I think Assault Vest works a little bit better on this kind of team. And then we go for something like Ancient Power. The reason being is we want a little bit of Spadef and also a little bit of HP and defense in our EVs, so this way we can take like a Rockfall from a Landorus and live and get an attack off, and the same with the Regieleki attack, right? So that's why I like the Assault Vest on the Zard. And then coupled with the Grimmsnarl screens, you know, opponents won't expect us to be Assault Vest very often. So let's go with this. Let's go with the Colin set, as I like to call it. He's the one that came up with this. Him and his two homies. All right, so 52 in the defense, and then the rest we can just that 1 point in special defense, right? And now you might say, well, the Zard is kind of weak now. Well, yes and no, because the Zard needs to live if you want to deal damage with it, right? We have the screens. We're gonna live, but we need Zard to stay on the field. So I think the Assault Vest is very much appreciated on this. All right, the Venusaur, on the other hand, this is where the Life Orb is gonna go. All right, this is gonna be your main damage dealer. This is your main fast mode mon, right? We want this thing to hit hard. So Leaf Storm, Earth Power. All right, Weather Ball, right? Why Weather Ball? Because when there's drought out, when there's the sun, now you have Max Flare, or you have a fire type attack, and you can hit those steel types for super effective damage. I know we have a Zard and I know we have a Torkoal, but sometimes we need the Venusaur to do the fire damage instead, okay? And then of course our main, sometimes we need an out, and Sleep Powder becomes our main out if we need it, okay? So now from here, so that our Venusaur does a little bit more damage, we're gonna go Modest Nature. So we're gonna hit hard, but be a little bit bulky. So I'm just gonna go, how do I want to do my numbers here? I think 108 is fine. Yeah, so 169, again, for our HP number, we want it at 169. And we always want to end in 9 when we have a Life Orb, because 169 divided by 10, if you do your math real quick, I'm doing it on the side, but I don't need to, 16.9, which rounds down to 16 damage per turn. Because if I pass the threshold, if I go to 170, now I'm taking 17 damage per turn, and I don't want that. I want to go under the threshold, which is 169. So this way, I optimize my HP where I only take 16 damage per turn. All right, so that's pretty good. For speed wise, I think we can just go something like this, 212. Yeah, 127, which is faster than our Dialga, 126. That's pretty good. That's what I want. And again, we're still faster than Thundurus, so this is always good. Okay. 179. Oh no, I'm sorry. This is for 189. That's for Cinderace. I'm sorry. I meant Cinderace. Holy cow. Yeah, we're already faster than Thundurus. Yeah, this is for Cinderace. Exactly. That's what I meant. My apologies. Anyway, and then from here we can just go a little bit of a just 1 point in defense. I think 170. Yeah, and then we get an even number in Spidef like this. So we're a harder hitting Venusaur. And I got that even number in the Spidef department, or, you know, I'm 122 because of Max Quake, and then 1 point in defense because that's what's left over. All right, so this is a hard-hitting Life Orb Venusaur. And again, we're going to outspeed at +1 a Cinderace if we max the Zard, right, or the Landorus, okay? But again, also at, you know, 127 with the drought boost, we're going to be at 254, right? And if I'm not mistaken, that's already faster than base speed 100s at +1. Let me see, 167 times 1.5 is 250, right? So you're faster than base speed 100s after a +1. So like if a opposing Zard is on the field and it clicked Airstream, you're still faster than it, all right? So that's good to know, right? So that the main thing is that speed tier. All right, Landorus, Lumberry, I did say that. The only thing here is we're going to change things up a bit. So we're going to go Earthquake. I'm just going to rearrange how these moves are ordered here. Fly. Okay. We don't need Superpower. We do need Rock Slide though. And I still like Swords Dance, honestly. I still do. Okay. There's going to be cases where we want to set up the Landorus Swords Dance and threaten with it. And again, what's good with Landorus and Zard is you can Earthquake next to your Zard because, you know, Zard is a flying type. Alright, so I think we just want 149 here because after a +1 Airstream, we're faster than Calyrex Shadow, right? So I think that's good enough already. And then from here, we want to optimize my HP to 175 because the Sand and Hail Chip, right? What's the Hail Chip? 175 divided by 16 is 10.9, which rounds down to 10. So 10 damage per turn from Hail. Okay, so we've optimized and we've got enough HP bulk for that. Alright, the rest we can just dump straight into attack, a tiny bit of defense, and then a little bit of spit def. Again, another even number there. So for max quake boost. So this is a very standard basic Lando spread, meant to outspeed Calyrex Shadow. Torkoal. Okay, this one. So we're gonna go Citrus Berry Torkoal here, and I like this one a lot because we can punish a lot of early Dynamaxes, and especially ones that wanna go for boost early. And I'll show you what this set looks like. Eruption, Burning Jealousy, Yawn, and Protect. Okay, so Burning Jealousy, right? If things want to go for max quakes, max airstreams, we can punish that by going for Burning Jealousy and then just burn them. And then if they Dynamax too early, we can Yawn them, and then, you know, we punish them because then they fall asleep. Or if they don't Dynamax, they're forced to switch, and then we can take advantage if they're forced to switch by double targeting that slot, you know? So Torkoal's really good for that. And then for this, we just want to optimize our wait, first of all, let's go 0 speed. This is the one where you got to go 0 speed. Okay, and we'll still go quiet. We'll still go quiet nature. We'll go 216, I believe. 240. No, I think this is okay. Yeah, all right, I think this is fine. And then 196 is what this is the bump, right? 141 to 143. Okay, this is the third EV bump for Torkoal, and then the rest we can just dump in spit def, honestly. And if you want, you can put a little bit more into the HP just so that you have a nice number for the Citrus Berry recovery. But I don't think it's necessary. I think you're better off with something like this and just getting 100 spit def out of it. So I like this Torkoal a lot. Okay, so the Dialga one, we fixed up. The Grimmsnarl, we fixed. Charizard, we adjusted. We added the Venusaur. We adjusted the Lando, and now we have the Torkoal. All right. So overall, now we have this. Okay. So I think this is pretty good right now. So again, better than what I think it's a little bit more improved than what we had originally, because now we have a Sunsetter. We have something in case opponents bring Trick Room. We always have the Torkoal. Okay, we were helping the Zard out with the Sun, and now our Venusaur, which was in the place of Rillaboom, is now a strong, viable max option, and we have Sleep Powder as another out. Okay, and then supported with Grimmsnarl screens, you know, the Sun core looks very, very strong, and then Dialga can honestly just do whatever it wants when it needs to. Again, the Ice Beam is needed against opposing Landorus, because if Landorus sees this team, Landorus just wants to gobble this entire thing up. But we have the Grimmsnarl screen support to help out. And again, the max Hailstorm from Dialga is really going to help out there. Okay. But yeah, overall, I think it's solid for what it can do. And now we might as well just go ahead and test it out in some practice games. Always do this. I always say we're going to take a look at some practice battles, but I forget to show some of the important calcs here. So let's take a look at Dialga first, and let's look at Zacian. So Zacian close combat, right? It looks like it kills Dialga in one shot, but if you get the Intimidate or if you get a Reflect off, the close combat doesn't kill, and then you could potentially knock it out with an Earth Power or deal big damage with it if it's taken some chip already, right? Because if you Dynamax this, Quake almost kills a standard Zacian most of the time. 75% chance to Oko. So I think that's pretty good. All right. If we look at something like Landorus. So a standard Landorus. Standard Lando with just Earthquake in itself is already dealing a lot of damage. And let me just try and make this a little bigger. Yeah, there we go. So Landorus, if it goes for Max Quake, let me just click the Dynamax button here. Max Quake, it's gonna kill the Dialga here, right? But then, wait, what happened here? Sorry about that. But then if you click Dynamax, then we're okay. With the Reflect, I'm sorry, with the Reflect. Yes, with the Reflect. That's what I wanted to do. Okay, so there's that. Sorry, I was looking at my background music and it went to like an advertisement or something. Anyway, Groudon, let's take a look at Groudon here. Let's look at a Citrus Groudon set. So Again, something like Max Quake, you know, can obviously just wreck Dialga, but then even with just Reflect, we can live a Max Quake, and it just shows you how bulky Dialga is. And again, we're not even Dynamax here. If we were, it looks something like this. Hey, it doesn't even like 3-shot us, so that's pretty cool. And then again, we have like Steel Spikes and Worm Winds to help us out against Groudon. So, you know, very helpful calcs to know against stuff like this. If Groudon wasn't max, if it just went for straight up P Blades, again, it doesn't one shot, but it does a lot. But at least with the Reflect, it makes it a little bit more manageable in that regard. So those are the 3 main ones. The only one I have left to show you is the Urshifu one. So let's look at a Urshifu, not black glasses, just none item, right? Just like a regular standard Urshifu. Again, the screens, they're not going to matter. Well, the close combat has a 50% chance to KO, but with the screens, then you can live it. So you can live the close combat from the Ursh. I think that's also worth knowing. So yeah, those are some of the important ones for Dialga. Let's take a look at some of the rest of the Mons. Okay, so now this is for Venusaur. So again, with Venusaur, the main thing is max Airstream from something like a Landorus, right? So Landorus, standard Lando, 252, 252. Max Airstream just absolutely obliterates our Venusaur. But now let's max ours, because we're going to G-max our Venusaur. And we do live without any Reflect, any Intimidate. So max Airstream, 97% max. Then we can get off our G-max Vine Lash, and then we're just chilling. If this was Life Orb, if this was a Life Orb Landorus, different story, as it would one-shot us even if we Dynamax. However, now if we partnered with the Reflect, okay, now we're okay, and we still live. Okay, so that's always good to know. So Venusaur can live that Airstream from a Landorus, very important. All right. Okay, next let's take a look at the Charizard, the AV Zard that we have here. So let's look at Regieleki first. So without anything, the Regieleki Thunderbolt, you know, without our max, that'll still one-shot you, right? If you're Dynamax, obviously you'll live it, and you take it relatively well. So there's that. If you have the light screen up though, you actually do take the Thunderbolt, even if you're not max. So that's always good to know. Let's put the sun out here. And then let's say you Dynamax and the Regieleki Dynamaxes as well. So now, and again, this is Magnet Aleki. This is not Sash Aleki. Magnet Aleki, again, still not going to kill, even its strongest electric attack. Well, not strongest, but its main consistent electric attack. It's not going to kill the Zard if we have the light screen. Without it, we still live. Without the light screen, because we have the Assault Vest, we live the Regieleki Max Lightning. Magnet Regieleki, okay? Magnet. If this was Life Orb, let's take a look. If this was Life Orb Aleki, alright, we have a pretty good chance to live, right? 18.8%, that's fine by me. You know, we'll be alright. And then for the Landorus, which is the main one that you want the bulk for, let's take a look here. Let's look at a standard Lando set first. Okay, so standard Lando, Dynamax Rockfall. See how that one-shots you? Even when it's Dynamax and whatever. But now if you put the Reflect up, you live the Rockfall. Alright, remember, Charizard is 4 times weak to a Rock move. Alright, and I know this is super effective. Okay, but again, it's non-stab and we're fine. So that's the main reason, you know, we have a little bit of HP and defense bulk. And then we can just smash with G-Max Wildfire and say goodbye to Landorus almost, because after that chip, it's almost dead. But yeah, those are the 2 main things you want to watch out for, the Aleki and the Landorus. So good to know that we have the calcs and the screens from the Grimmsnarl to help us live, you know, those big attacks. All right, the last one is the Landorus. So the one thing that you want to watch out for is the Zacian Behemoth Blade. Because without anything, if you're Dynamax and if it's a standard Zacian, it has an 81% chance to OHKO you. You're going to need either a Reflect, which helps you live that, or you're going to need to pivot you're going to want to make sure that you already pivoted your Landorus and you've already brought the Zacian back to neutral. So let me just do that real quick. And that way, at the very least, you can at least survive 1 Behemoth Blade. and then just go for that Max Quake and knock it out right off the bat. So yeah, those are some of the key calcs for Zard, Venu, Lando, and Dialga. So now we can go into some of the sample battles with this squad. Okay, perfect. So we have a Kyogre matchup here. Now, he also has a Grimmsnarl. He doesn't have any speed control though, so it looks like Venusaur can actually almost run through his whole team. And I don't even think he brings the Indeedee here. I think he has to bring the Ursh for the Dialga. But again, I'm fine with just, you know, leading with Venusaur, Grimmsnarl, and then in case he leads Kyogre, then have Torkoal coming in the back, and then Dialga as well. And that's my 4, right? I don't need Landorus this game. Okay, so let's see what he does here. So there's the Kyogre and there's the Urshifu. So he actually leads both. And there's the Venusaur and there's my Grimmsnarl. So right away, there's no way this Kyogre stays in unless he's dumb. So either he protects it or he switches it out. And this Urshifu threatens the Dialga late game. So my goal is actually to ignore the Kyogre and remove the Urshifu. Okay, and again, I don't care about the Kyogre right now. So he actually does switch the Kyogre into Instant. That's fine. He probably thought I would overgrowth that slot or G-Max Vine Lash, but that's fine. So I change the weather. I switch out the Grimmsnarl. So my Venusaur becomes faster than his Urshifu, and now I can go for the Vine Lash. He protects. That's a smart play. Okay, but again, I get my Vine Lash chip off. So there's the chip damage against the Instant and the Urshifu. So he goes back into Kyogre to rechange the weather. That's fine. I anticipated that, which is why I got rid of the Urshifu, and then I yawned the Kyogre slot just in case he would want to try and switch the Instant. So I got rid of the main threat to Dialga, and now the Kyogre is under pressure because now it has to switch or it gets put to sleep. So that's why I like this Torkoal set a lot. So now he brings in Grimmsnarl. That's not going to do anything. So I'm just going to go into my Grimmsnarl. He goes for a Water Spout. So he stays in, which means he's going to take a nap. And I do more chip damage thanks to, you know, him staying in. And he goes for a Play Rough. That's an interesting Grimmsnarl set. So now the Kyogre goes to sleep. And he stays asleep. And I just wanted to get my screens up just in case, because I know he has a physical Mon in the back. And the Kyogre just goes down for free. And now he's just stuck with Instant and Grimmsnarl, 2 very passive Mons. He has to max the Instant at this point. And I know he's going to try and get rid of my Venusaur. So I'm just going to pivot out and go into Dialga now. And there it is. There's the max Instant. And again, he's in the range. So the Max Flare is not going to do a lot. I chipped the Grimmsnarl just a little bit. But again, there's the Play Rough. Now I get the free switch into Torkoal here. Thanks for the sun. And he goes for Taunt, which is a good play because I was going to yawn his Instant and punish his Max, but again, it's fine because now it's a 3-on-1 and Venusaur just wins the game with an Earth Power in the end. So there it is. He kills my Dialga, and again, my Torkoal is just chipping this Instant down because now his Max is over, and now Venusaur comes back in. We click the Earth Power button, and the game is over. And that's how you beat him. So Venusaur just ran through his whole team, basically. All we had to do is get rid of the Urshifu first, so that way Dialga could do what it needed to do. And then in the end game, he had nothing left to max, and that was that. So now let's take a look at another. Okay, this is Lunala. All right, this looks like a Series 10 team. So this guy is probably just messing around, and there's a Toxapex there. Why, I couldn't tell you, but this looks like a Zard game because he's got 2 grass types. He's got 2 things weak to Max Quake from Zard, and the damage from G-Max Wildfire can chip the Lunala so that the Shadow Shield is basically gone. So I like Zard here. So Zard and my Landorus is what I want here because I can get Intimidates off later on. But anyway, we're going to Torkoal, get the Sun, and get rid of this Amoonguss because he probably wants to click Trick Room. Which is fine by me because I have my own Torkoal now. And thanks for the Trick Room. So now Torkoal is just going to win the game from here. Unless he has Wide Guard, which he has yet to reveal. Okay, but then there's the G-Max Wildfire Chip. So he protects the stack, which is a good play. Again, Eruption is just going to do so much. I'm surprised he didn't click Wide Guard there if he had it. But there's the Meteor Beam. It knocks out my Zard. But again, that's fine. That's okay because we got the Wildfire Chips going. And that Lunala is on the clock because unless that thing switches out, it's dead. Alright, so there's the Wide Guard, finally revealed. Body Press on the Torkoal, not going to do a whole lot. because Torkoal has a lot of defense, so he protects me there, and Dialga can now click the Earth Power, and he has a Shuka Berry for some reason. But again, dies to the Wildfire Chip, and Lunala is on its way out. So now what we can do is just repivot our Landorus, intimidate the Rillaboom, and then the Wildfire Chip will take out the Lunala. And all I have to do is just protect the Torkoal for one turn, because after that, I still have one more turn of Trick Room. And then I can just click Eruption, kill the Rillaboom, and the game is over. Alright, so again, I'm playing it safe here. I'm just going Landorus. I don't even need to do this. But he goes for Grassy Glide, that's fine. There's the Moongeist Beam. He tries to kill the Torkoal, but doesn't. So now the Lunala dies, and I have one turn of Trick Room. I'm just going to repivot out just because I'm playing it safe, and then I'm just going to click Eruption, and there it is. Game's over. So thanks for the Trick Room, buddy. Let's look at one more. Okay, this is against the mirror, apparently. That's a Dialga team with another Landorus. There's a Porygon 2, a Ditto, and a Togekiss. I like Zard again. I don't know if he brings the Gothitelle to this. I'm not sure if he does, but I like Zard in this. Just get Airstream, get the Wildfire Chip going, and yeah, so Zard, Landorus again, Torkoal in the back, and then Dialga. Okay, so there's the Zard. There's my Lando, and he actually did bring the Goth, so that's a little annoying because now I can't switch my weather. But I do intimidate his own Landorus, so that's always good. So that's why I maxed the Zard. He fixed out my Lando. That's a good play, I guess. So the Stone Edge doesn't kill me, which is all I needed. All I need from it to not do. So my Landorus now has a speed boost. He goes for Ally Switch. So there's the Wildfire Chip. That's all I need. The Zard goes down. That's totally fine because now Landorus has the Swords Dance that it needs to sweep, and it has a +1 boost. So it goes for Stone Edge. It misses the Torkoal. That's fine. Now I click Rock Slide, and I just destroy his first two Mons. And now he has the Dialga and the Porygon. So interesting back end. So what I can do now is just switch out the Torkoal into Dialga and go for a big +1 Earthquake, which is what I do. And there's the big damage on the Dialga, and he does have Max Hailstorm. So again, this is why you want Ice Beam on your Dialga, to deal with opposing Lando. So there goes my Lando. But for some reason, this Porygon went for Trick Room. I guess it's a new player, but again, you know, now Torkoal just wins the game. I have no idea why you clicked Trick Room, by the way. Probably had a good chance if he didn't click Trick Room, but since he clicked Trick Room, now I just click Eruption, the game's over. And yeah, now this is just a formality at this point because there's nothing really he can do. And GG's. So yeah. Okay, so yeah, all in all, I think this Dialga Sun team is relatively solid for what it can do. You know, it has multiple options. It's very flexible. You can always go a Landorus Dynamax if you want to. The Zard Max was pretty good. Venusaur Max against the Kyogre is always very good. And we didn't even max the Dialga once yet. Dialga Grimmsnarl is also a good lead because you can support it with screens and then just go for hard-hitting Steel Spikes and Max Dragons. And then just have like Torkoal and Venusaur or Charizard in the back to help clean up. So a lot of different modes that you can do with this team, and I feel like it's very flexible and it's consistent, which is what we want. And the EVs, I believe, are done relatively well enough where, like, yeah, this is what we want in terms of our spread. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you think we improved the team, if we made it better, or if you have your own ideas. Let me know in the comments. And again, if you're interested in team fixing, join the channel, join the Discord, hit me up and say, Clover, I got a team. Can you please help me out with this? And I'll be more than happy to make a video and help you out and fix it up for you. And again, if you want team building, all right, that's a tier 3 sub. So again, very much appreciated of that. And that is where we build a team from scratch. All right, so take a look at the perks, join the channel, join the Discord. Have a good one. Until next time.